Hey, what's up, everybody? Just wanted to do a tail of the tape video on a fight on the undercard of the David Benavidez card this weekend on Saturday on Showtime. This is Jackson El Fenix Mariñez from the Dominican Republic. He's undefeated, 19-0 versus Rollies Rolando Romero, who's 11-0. This fight is going to be televised on Showtime at the Mohegun Sun in Connecticut. Jackson El Fenix Mariñez is 5 years older than Rollies. Jackson's 29, Rollies is 24. Jackson has a 2-inch height advantage over Rollies. Jackson's coming in at 5 foot 10 inches, Rollies 5 foot 8 inches. They both have the same reach, 178. They both fight from the orthodox stance. They both pro debuted in 2016, and Jackson El Fenix Mariñez has 115 pro rounds, and Rollies has 34 rounds. Jackson has a 36% knockout ratio. 7 of his 19 fights have been by KO, and Rollies has a 90% knockout ratio. So Rollies is a puncher. Jackson Mariñez tends to be more of a boxer. And this is Rollies' first fight past, scheduled for 8 rounds. And this will be Jackson's 4th fight scheduled for 10 or more. This fight, since it's for the WBA Interim 135 Lightweight Championship, it's going to be scheduled for 12. Jackson's opponents have a cumulative fight record of 246 wins, 118 losses, and 6 draws. All his fights except for one have been in the Dominican Republic. And Rollies' opponents are 69, 35, and 1. Rollies fights under Mayweather Promotions, so the majority of his fights have been in Las Vegas. So the Las Vegas Athletic Commission is going to be a little bit more stringent on choosing his opponents opposed to Latin American countries like Mexico or the Dominican Republic. Jackson has been with Team RGBA since 2019. He had a fight the summer of 2019 in the Dominican Republic, and he had his U.S. debut in Atlanta on the undercard of Gervonta Tank Davis versus Yuriorkis Gamboa. I believe Nate Arreola has been his strength and conditioning coach for all 3 of those fights there with Team RGBA. And he spars Jose Ramirez, Virgil Ortiz, and Hector Tanajara Jr., just to name a few of those stars there at Team RGBA. Rollies is with Mayweather Promotions, and Tank Davis has been seen recently there at the gym, so hopefully he has taken advantage and got some sparring there with Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis is in training for the Leo Santa Cruz fight. And then there's also mention of Devin Haney being there recently as well. A few months ago, we saw Devin Haney in training with Floyd Mayweather. So hopefully Rollies was able to spar a little bit with Devin Haney in preparation as well. Rollies says in an interview with Sean Zittle with Fight Hype that he hasn't had to adapt in the ring. He's pretty much been able to walk down the majority of his fighters, and but he has the ability to fight backwards, and he can box. So he shared that he can go an entire sparring session without being touched by his opponents. So shout out to Sean on that interview. You can find that on Fight Hype's page. I mentioned this earlier. Jackson has a 36% KO ratio. Rollies has a 90% KO ratio. An interesting factor that that Sean got out of Rollies was Rollies said that he has the capability to fight at 130, but chooses to fight at 135. I thought that was very interesting. In the corner for Jackson El Fenix Mariñez will be Chepe Contreras, one of the trainers there at Team RGBA. Robert Garcia tested positive for COVID in the testing leading into Virgil Ortiz's fight, and then in a second test he tested negative. So out of precaution. He was not in the corner for Virgil Ortiz's fight there in July at the Indio at the Fantasy Springs. And he decided, in order to keep all of Jackson's training team and himself, and keeping Jackson healthy, he removed himself from the team. So Chepe Contreras will be his head boxing coach, and it looks like his chief second will be Nate Arriola. Nate Arriola is his strength and conditioning coach and has worked with many champions such as Abner Mares, Joshua Franco, Carlos Licona, Ponce de Leon, and Billy Dibb. He also works with a lot of prospects and a lot of contenders. Jonathan Navarro, Esquiva Falcao, Lina Licona, Hector Garcia. He has a very large resume. Chepe Contreras has done tons of fights in Mexico with the two Olympians, Mexican Olympians that are with Team RGBA, Lindolfo Delgado and Misael Rodriguez. So Chepe has been in the corner as a lead in several fights, and he was also co-trainer for Louis Coria back in November of 2018, when Louis Coria took a last-minute step-in fight versus Oscar Valdez's younger cousin, Tomas Valdez, in Tucson, Arizona. So Chepe is ready to go. He's going to be in there with Nate Arriola. You can follow Chepe Contreras at JA_Contreras95 on Instagram. You can follow Rollies at Rollies, ROLLIESSS. That's 3 S's, at Rollies on Instagram. You can follow Jackson Mariñez on IG at EL_Phoenix_21. You can follow Nate Arriola at I am Nate Arriola, all one word. And I'm Sontel Media. You can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram at Sontel_Media. You can follow me on Twitter at Sontel_Media. Hope you liked the video. More videos coming soon.